kids cardiac. Catch me in the muni where the party at. Dog pound, turn up with the elf up on my starter cap. Brought him back, boy, we from the land and we proud of that. Louder man, front to the back, here we go, I got him shouting that. Here we go, brownies. Here we go. Here we go, brownies. Here we go, brownies. Here we go, brownies. Game on the line, Joe Thomas, I promise. Jim Brown running through opponents, how I got this. I return like Josh Cripps, paying for the mini, got the dog pound jumping. Here we go, brownies. Here we go. Here we go, brownies. Here we go, brownies. Here we go, brownies. Let's go, Cleveland!
Well, guys, welcome to another edition of the Here We Go Brownies podcast, coming to you post-game live on a demoralizing loss to the New England Patriots, 32-13. We have Larry is joining us post-game from Ashtabula/Geneva, Ohio. Ray Showdog in the YT, Youngstown, and Dustin from downtown Cleveland. Everybody, how we doing?
A safety at the end of the game.
Wow.
What?
Well, I said, how's everybody doing? And there was no reaction. That was I think that's the first time.
Don't everybody answer at once.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was that was kind of speechless.
I thought the question was rhetorical. That's why I never said anything, because it should be obvious to Browns fans how we're feeling.
Yeah. Browns suck.
Ugly. Well, honestly, from a standpoint of how this game looked, for me, I spoke too soon, and I know I even texted Larry. I was like, "Hey, Dylan Gabriel looks pretty good," and then Dylan Gabriel didn't look good, and so I don't know. It's, Ray, we were talking about this before the show started. If the Browns could just go off their first drives of the season, they'd probably be a Super Bowl team. They start out looking great, and then they can't get out of their way. First couple things I'd like to bring up. Obviously, Myles Garrett had a 5-sack performance today. Again, 5 sacks. That's incredible for any player to do that. He was 2 away from the NFL record of all time today. And I just want to get a little post-game reaction from you guys. He was pretty pissed off. He threw his helmet, slammed it to the ground. It bounced. I think another player grabbed it. Myles is a pretty frustrated guy. He did take the money. He did come back with the Browns. But what do you think? I just feel like this defense does everything they can in a football game, and the offense can't get out of the way of themselves. I'll start with you, Ray.
Well, I mean, it's we've been having offensive struggles all year, and it seems like we're going to continue to have offensive struggles. And I don't think you could pinpoint it on. I don't think you could pinpoint it on the play calling. I don't think you could pinpoint it on Gabriel. I mean, there's enough contributing factors on the offense to go around if we're going to play the blame game. And let's just start with that offensive line. They've been offensive since the first game. And a lot of it is injuries, and a lot of it they've just gotten old. So that's my 2 cents on what's going on, what's wrong with that offense, or what's wrong with the team.
Larry, go ahead.
Yeah. So Myles Garrett had 5 sacks. That's good for the trade value. You're right. I mean, at some point you're going to have to accept the fact that if we can do better with some, get rid of the guys, clean it up a little bit. I mean, it's over now. So what the hell's the difference? Matter of fact, I mean, I know you're going to get to the quarterbacks, but I've seen enough. But as far as the defensive players are concerned, yeah, I mean, defense played a pretty good year actually, not bad. Although, the second half, for some reason, that maybe they're just giving up because the offense did. I don't know. Probably some of it's that. That's why Miles is so pissed off. But by third quarter, we're all just sitting back and eating the last part of the dinner and not giving a crap. That's how it's gotten. That's how bad it's got.
Well,
That's
for
my 2
me,
cents.
yeah, for me, this defense continues to come out week in and week out, balls out, plays well. Miles Garrett, Schlesinger, a lot of guys play with a high motor. We've got a pretty good, promising rookie class ahead of us, including Fannin Jr. is going to be a star, I think, for this football team. But, we had a ton of injuries today. Quite a few players went out. Q went out. He was banged up. I think we had some guys go out with some head injuries, concussions. So the bye week couldn't have come at a better time, I think, for this football team. But I think this team has come at a crossroads where they have to decide who they're going to be and what their identity is going to be. And,
Right.
Larry, let's just get into it. This is a team week in and week out, other than 1 week, can't put more than 16 or 17 points on the board. The wide receiving group television actually brought it up today. Our wide receiver core is smaller guys, not big, lanky, bodied, like a true number one wide receiver. We don't have that. So what is the identity of the Cleveland Browns on offense? I don't think they have one. And so let's just rip the Band-Aid off. Is it time for Shedeur Sanders? Obviously, he was out of this game with some back stiffness, so he was actually inactive for this game. So he wouldn't have been able to go into this game. But at this point, Joe Flacco is going to be able to do what Joe Flacco does in Cincinnati with weapons. Dylan Gabriel, I think, somewhat has a ceiling. He can only go so far with his skill set and who he is as a player. And we don't know what we have in Shedeur Sanders until we put him in there with ones on offense to see what he's got. I think if I'm the front office and I'm Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski and Jimmy Haslam with a little tap of the shoulder, I think it's time to put Shedeur Sanders in. We have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Let's start with you, Larry. Go for it.
Yeah, I don't think it's a matter of winning or losing. It's the situation where it's at. We've seen enough with Gabriel, okay? If you want to say there's a couple sparks here or there, go ahead if you want. You know how I feel about the short guy, okay? But as far as Shedeur Sanders is concerned, the opportunity right now, you've got a bye week. You got 2 weeks to get them prepped. You're playing the worst team in the NFL. What a better time to go ahead and start a new quarterback. I mean, at this point, it really doesn't make any difference who the guy is. Put him in. And if it's Shedeur Sanders, it's Shedeur Sanders. But you got to move on. Look, the Browns have to stop thinking about. They're not decisive enough with somebody. We're in the middle of the year right now. We know we're going nowhere. If you're going to make decisions, you're going to make changes. Do it and get it over with. Stop pussyfooting around. I mean, whatever the hell it takes to get. We're not going to. If you want to see what Shedeur Sanders got, which we should see what he's got, give him 4 or 5 games. And then at the end of the year, with like 3 or 4 games left, you can do whatever you want. Doesn't make any difference. But Gabriel has gotten his chance. I don't know. Was that 3 games or was that 4 games? I think it was only 3.
4.
It would have been nice if the bye week would have been a week from now and he got 1 more game. But today, the one thing I can say about today's game, it was the opportunity that he had to go ahead and do something. And at the end of the day, you could walk away confidently saying, okay, he's done. Put the new guy in. There's no wishy-washy part. If there is, then that's part of the problem with the front office. Too much wishy-washy because it's time to move on.
Ray?
I'm kind of torn because on one hand, I don't want to see Shedeur because of the talent that he's going to have around him on offense. I mean, that offensive line ain't going to start blocking for him. That's not blocking for Gabriel, the wide receiver. Now, maybe I understand that Gabriel does throw a hard ball, and people are trying to contribute that to a lot of the drops. I can't say yay or nay. But Shedeur does throw a more of a softer touch ball. But again, I mean, like I said, with the talent, with what that offensive line is, because that's the key. If you don't have time to stretch the field, if the line isn't blocking, and you're not going to establish a running game if the line isn't blocking. So, but having said all that, I agree with Larry. We have to, being that we have 2 number ones next year, we have to have some sample size of what Shador could do so that we can better decide, okay, do we have what we need on on the roster for quarterback, or do we need to go in next year thinking, okay, we need to draft another quarterback? So I will come to the conclusion that yes, we need to see what he could do for that more than anything else. So yeah, I'll agree with Larry on that one. Yeah, we need to see Shador. They got a week to get him ready. I mean, they got this bye week to get him ready. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it in the big scheme of things, you drafted 2 quarterbacks, you brought in Pickett, you traded both the other quarterbacks. So clearly your goal is to see what these 2 quarterbacks have in them and what they have. And from multiple accounts, Mary Kay and others have said that Shador has progressed quite nicely behind the scenes, getting prepared for if and when his moment is. And to your point, right, Joe Flacco basically got rolled out there for the first 4 games. The next 4 was Dylan Gabriel. And now it's kind of Shador Sanders time for the next 4. And then you're right, those last 4, you kind of need to figure out if the guy on your roster, one of the 2 guys on your roster, is the answer. And if he's not, you possibly have a capable backup here and somebody you can trade to try to get ready for 2025, 2026 as you try to find that next starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. It could be potentially.
But Dustin, what I'm saying about. By the way, you're getting a lot of feedback, with a lot of wind. What I'm saying about making your decision, okay? On Monday, Tuesday, whenever the Browns come back, because they got a bye, so they get a few days off. When they come back, they should announce Shador Sanders as the starter. They should just do it. I mean, that's what I mean about being wishy-washy. If they start doing this, let's see who's better during the next week and a half. You're not going to give Shador Sanders enough time to actually work with the first team. So make a bold decision, make the move, and change it right now. Don't keep dragging us through this crap. That's what drives me nuts.
So one of our listeners here, Tammy, I kind of agree with you. We are cursed at the quarterback position. That is correct. We are cursed at the quarterback position.
We are definitely cursed.
But yeah, let's talk about some of the positives today. Obviously, Myles Garrett. I mean, this guy is an unbelievable. I mean, and by the way, Drake May is going to be a really good quarterback for the New England Patriots. Not to take away, but Drake May throws 3 touchdowns today. He's been the most efficient quarterback in the NFL. He's looking the part of why he was drafted by the New England Patriots to be that number 1 franchise quarterback for him. But for Myles Garrett to get 5 sacks, and by the way, most sacks for anybody under the age of 30 in the history of the National Football League. So I don't want that to be lost, that this guy has got more sacks than anybody before the age of 30 in the history of the NFL. But then, unfortunately, it turns into a little bit of, a nothing booger just because it goes all lost because of this blowout win by the New England Patriots. Obviously, some of the injuries today was cornerback Tyson Campbell was jogged off the field after taking a hit to the head. Quinshon Judkins had a shoulder injury, and safety Rayshon Jenkins left with a groin injury. So obviously, this will come in a key time for some of these guys that we'll need back for after the bye week. And I think somebody did say the Jets did win, right? The Jets got their first win of the year today. So I will say this. I'd rather go play the Jets with a team, and we all know this, a team that hasn't won a game eventually wins a game somewhere there. So
we need to lose to the Jets at this point. I mean, I know people get pissed when you say that, but come on, man. We're going for next year. We're going to start again next year.
Yeah,
lose. You don't want to lose. You hate losing.
I
hate losing too.
Don't. You know what, Larry? Larry, I'm going to push back on that a little bit. And first, I want to give us some of a shout out, and I'm going to just push back on that here in just a moment. But I want to give a couple of shout outs to some of our sponsors here. So hang on one second. We're going to give a couple of shout outs to some of our folks here. But yeah, I'm going to push back on that just from a couple standpoints, and I'll explain where my mindset is on that. For one, say we do get lucky for some reason, and Shador Sanders is the guy. Okay, and I'll get to that back here in a minute. First, quick shout out to City Barbecue. If you've got City Barbecue and you haven't been there, go check them out. That's City Barbecue with 6 Northeast Ohio locations. That's right, City Barbecue with 6 Northeast Ohio locations. Check them out. And if you're looking to do some catering, they have some amazing things to do there. Let's give a quick shout out to our friends over at Lady Caroline. That's right, Lady Caroline right there. We got to do that cruise just a week ago. Larry was on that with all of our friends as well. Got to go down there and check out all of downtown Cleveland with our lunch cruise. But then, by the way, if you're looking to do some fun stuff, go to the Greater Cleveland Aquarium. That's right, the Greater Cleveland Aquarium is right down there next to Lady Caroline. Great place to take the grandkids, the children, school trips or whatever. If it's fall or winter and you just want to get out of that, go check them out. Give a quick shout out to Stadium Mustard, the classic mustard, Stadium Mustard. If you don't have it in your kitchen and you don't have it and you need it, go to stadiummustard.com. That's right. Larry Lorella will eat Stadium Mustard right from a napkin at the stadium because he loves it so much. So that's stadiummustard.com. So yeah, I'm going to push back, Larry, just a tad bit on that, because if Deion Sanders actually does come out and plays really well, I do want the Cleveland Browns to win football games. And what I mean by that is, if he starts stringing wins together in the second half of the season, I now know I have 2 first-round draft picks, and I don't need to go get a quarterback with 2 first-round draft picks.
I agree with that.
Because you do want him to look good. But let's talk about that. If they are going to roll out with Shador Sanders, what are some of the things we want to see? I'll start with Ray. What are some of the things? Because, by the way, we haven't seen him with a first-string offense at all yet. But, Ray, what do you want to see now? And I'm going to do a 2-part question here for you, Ray. I do think Stefanski's offense looked a little more innovative today. He did some more different types of plays, and he opened up the playbook for Dylan Gabriel. So just curious, Ray, what you want to see from the offense and Shador if he ends up being named the starter.
Man, I just want to see some continuity with the running game, with the passing game. I just want to see if he's capable of putting together, a couple of drives back to back or whatever. And that's the problem. Because we don't know. That's why we're so anxious to see. So I'm just anxious to see him play and see if he could do any better than what we're already doing, which the bar is pretty low for that. So yeah.
Yeah.
Larry?
Yeah, Dustin, the way I want to see a quarterback that makes the other players look better. Okay, I mean, again, the bar is low. You're right, Ray. But I don't believe that in the NFL, the line, the receivers, the running backs are all in a group bad. I think it takes something like a quarterback to spark them a little bit, or in some cases it takes the receiver. 1 or 2 guys on the team have to spark the rest of the guys to play a little better. So Shador Sanders is a leader of men. Even with the players that are not as good, you'll be able to see through it, whether or not regardless of whether or not the all the receptions occur and everything else. If the team as a whole plays better, then he's a leader of men, and he is. That's one of the major attributes you got to have for a quarterback that's able to friggin' run a team, and that's what I want to see. I mean, he does throw a softer ball, but actually sometimes that's bad. Because he doesn't. Sometimes he's thrown lofty balls in that preseason that were like, where the hell did that come from? But then other times so I don't know. Let's see him. Let's see what the hell happens. It doesn't take much for the offensive line. In order to make the offensive line look better, the quarterback has to move quicker. If the quarterback's moving quicker, the defense has less time to actually react. So the run looks better. Everything looks better if it's got a quicker quarterback. to me, I want to see quickness out of him, and I want to see a leader of men. Those two are the only things we need right now to know.
Yeah, that's a good question. So let's go around the league with some of the scores. Obviously, Thursday night, the Chargers really took it to the Vikings, 37-10. The Dolphins, ironically, get a big win today, 34-10 over the Falcons. The Ravens moved to two. The Ravens moved to 2-5. By the way, that is with Lamar Jackson not being back, 30-16. And the Jets, that's right, the Jets beat the Bengals 39-38 in a whopper of a game. So Joe Flacco does not win. The Jets come back and win late. The Bills come back to earth and show who they are. They beat the Panthers 40-9 today. The Texans come away with a win, 26-15. We know the Browns lost 32-13. Saquon Barkley has a big day against his old team, 38-20. The Eagles win today. And currently the Buccaneers at halftime are up 7-3 on the New Orleans Saints. And the Indianapolis Colts continue to roll 17-7. The Colts over the Titans. And the Broncos are up 14-3 over the Cowboys. Any surprises from any of those games, guys? From the early get and then the halftime games today. Anything surprise you guys from any of those scores?
Well, obviously the Miami game. I mean, yeah, that was because I was watching it earlier. I was kind of flipping back and forth, and I thought that game was all but over with. But I guess Miami had other plans.
Yeah, Miami. I mean, Atlanta's been playing good football, so I agree. That's that came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And then for the Jets to find life and put up almost 40 points and win 39-38. Those are the two surprises for me. Anything there, Larry, that surprised you from any of those early games?
No, I got all those. This isn't a surprise. Makes me happy though. See Buffalo come back. I'm happy to see that. That was nice, decisive win. They needed that.
Yep.
I mean, we have to support the Lake Erie Alliance.
I knew it was coming. The Lake Erie Alliance. There it is.
Lake Erie Alliance. The Lions, the Bills, and the Browns.
Yeah, so a couple quick other shout-outs from some of our sponsors. Primetime Sports. If you haven't had a chance to check them out, definitely check them out. November 15th, the original Rudy. That's right, Rudy from Notre Dame will be there at 2 p.m. with Bob Golick. Another Notre Dame alum and Browns legend will be there. And then our friend Crystal John Toey is our official exclusive realtor with EXP. That's Crystal John Toney. You can find her on any of the socials and also at 216-215-6663. And let's give a shout out to our friends over at Southern Tier Brewing. That's right, where you can get the official Cleveland Here We Go Brownies Brown Ale. That's right. A lot of fun. You can get that on tap or take a crowler home. And then, of course, quick couple shout outs from our sponsors. We'll give one to, let's check them out. That would be Mr. Hero.
SOS, I could use a hero right about now. My faith in love is upside down. H-E-R-O, where do we all go? SOS, I could use a hero right about now.
Mr. Hero's turning 60. We're proud to have served your favorite cravings for 60 years in celebrating what we do best. Thanks, Ohio.
I crave a hero.
Here we go, Brownies Nations. We are here with Larry Lorello at Huntington Field to talk about Here We Go Brownies wine and all the other amazing wines at Lorello Vineyards.
Yeah, I just want to tell all of you guys, it's harvest season right now. We just started with some of the whites, and reds will be coming in next. Stop out the winery, all the wineries out in Northeast Ohio for to check out all the harvest and what we're doing out there. Really good time right now.
Here we go, Brownies. Here we go.
Here we go.
Woof, 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 woof.
Thanks, everybody, for checking out our sponsors there. But yeah, guys, well, it's fun. I'm glad, Larry, you could come on here and have a little bit of a Sunday therapy session because, we all need a little Sunday therapy. Ray, you might as well show it. I know it freaked us out, but Ray, kind of show us what a Browns fan should look like right about now after today's loss. So, by the way, everybody, Ray came on the show this is how he came on at about. I'm like, what are we doing here? This is how Ray came on the show today. He came out looking like that. Yeah, we don't want to be seen. We don't want to be seen right now as Browns fans. We're a little.
Hey, one thing I want to tell everybody: listen, Jets game in New York. Browns Kennel 2 is going up. See all of you up there. After listening to my speech, you already know I'm excited because Shedeur Sanders is going to start that game if they're smart. So we'll see you all in New York.
So Larry is manifesting that. And by the way, here we go, Brownies. We'll be live from the kennel, right, Larry? We'll be doing live cut-ups from along the road Saturday as we make our trek up there. By the way, Larry, I think you know this. I've never been in New York City, so I'm kind of excited and pumped about this. Never
Well,
been.
don't worry. We'll protect you.
Now, here we go. Brownies Nation needs to be protected. I like that. Hey,
Wait, the Jets don't play in New York City. They play over in Jersey somewhere, right?
Yeah, it's in Jersey. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but we're going to Manhattan the night before. We're going to the Browns Backer party.
I feel Larry somehow, some way will end up in a tunnel in New York City, and Larry is going to show me one of his jobs. I just have a feeling that's.
Oh, that's not a bad idea. We could do that. Yeah, that'd be cool.
As I say, Larry's going to go check on his project. So, all right, guys. Well, hey, as keep the faith. We're 2-6. We know this season is not what we wanted it to be, but I do think the future is bright for the Cleveland Browns. Larry, thanks again for joining us out from Geneva.
Hey, have a good one. Go Browns.
Thanks for joining us out in White Town. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Go Browns.
Ooh, ooh.